What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? It is Thursday, May 16th. Sorry, we started a couple minutes late. Had a couple issues here, technical issues, but we are now ready to rock and roll. We have a giant show. I got to keep a very fast pace. We have coming up in 16 minutes, Anna Merrick to break down the UFC Fight Night card. Then, 10 minutes after that, we have DJ Big Boss and Trot Wham. Trot Wham coming back to the show. I'm very excited to have Trot Wham on the show. And then, just 15 to 20 minutes after that, Ski Profit will be joining us to break down this Blazers-Warriors game. And I did end up making a move on the early show. I was going to wait to break it down with Ski, but I just went ahead and made a move. And we will talk about all that when Ski is joining us. So we're going to skip the basketball game right now. We're going to briefly talk about NHL. Then we're going to go into we got MLB games going on. I stayed away from the first 4 games in the MLB card today. I was uncomfortable with them. If we had just hammered the overs, we would have cashed out. I did not do that. I just stayed away. My head sort of stuck in the Preakness. My Preakness video was released just a little bit ago, and I'm pretty happy that I stayed away from them. There was a lot of volatility in those morning games, but I'm pumped. Let's get ready to rock. First off, shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We got Brian Watson, JD, Nutflush Allen, Ron Lofton, Demetrius Allman, Deer Slayer Ski, JD, Vinny Cornell, Kevin Pine, Dom the Don. There's Nutflush Allen saying Cubs, Todd Clinton ready to get that cash. Ron Lofton says Ski 6-0 in NBA last 3 days. Going to wait and see what he is on. I've already made a move. I was going to wait for him, but I went ahead and made the move. We got Red Girl. We got Canadian Capper 72, Jose Villegas. Jose Villegas in the house says he's filling in for Larry's video guy and he's shooting the last scene as we wait. Larry's fuck shots down by the creekside. I get it. Dennis Garcia says, good job with the video, Jimmy. Thank you very much, Dennis Garcia. We got the Sports Keg in the house. Yanks Guy, Jason Turgi, E Fresh, Serious Business, Paco Healy, TJ, WVU Catbird. The catbird seat. Interesting. The catbird seat, because the catbird sits at the top of the tree and looks down on everyone. There is the catbird. Okay, let's get to work. Stephen Dollery, Alex Ramirez, James Flick, my Big Bob Brockett, Juan Moreno, Marshall Hoffman, Chris Kaiser. Okay, Nutflush Allen says, don't let Castillo's ERA fool you. He's been walking a ton of batters. Okay, we got to get to that. Not Applicable says, tainted refs in NHL favor San Jose. They have been, and it's been good. It's been very good to me because I have major Sharks futures. All right, let's talk Bruins Hurricanes quickly. Bruins Hurricanes, let's just look at the totals here and spreads at sportsbookreview.com. Here we go. Boston opens up as a big favorite, -128, and then a big move towards the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, the move's not as much as it was. Let me just see if there's money coming back in on Boston. No, not at Pinnacle. Let's see on Bet Online. No. Not really. Wow, interesting. So money's been coming in on Carolina all day long. The total is at 5.5. I am on the over. I'm on the over 5.5 at +110. The way I see it, some people look at this game saying, I think the Hurricanes are going to play very strong defensively, very tight defensively. No, it's too late for that. It's now time to put everything at the net. It's time to leave the zone early. It's time to look out for the breakout passes. It's time to jump all over odd man rushes. It's time for the defenseman to come up and join the rush. It's time to get everything full-blown steam ahead. And that's their only chance right now. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and if they're behind, and Babano talked about this, if they're behind 3-1, you're going to have the net, or empty net. You're going to pull the goalie with 4 minutes left. My guy, Sportsgag, says the bag's energy is special. I wish I could bottle it. I'm going on very little sleep. Very, very little sleep, working on the Preakness videos and the short little cuts. I was here with Rafa at 7 in the morning. I left the office at about 11 last night, and then I had to work. But, Sports Keg, you inspire me. You inspire me. Brooke Jordan says, Jimmy, what about Bruins team total over? Listen, it makes sense to me. I'm not getting in the way of the Bruins. Bruins team total over 2.5 makes sense to me. But I'm going to take both teams on this plus line on the 5.5. There's my guy, Trot Wham, OG Wham. Will be joining the show shortly. Very excited to have him on the show. Brooke Jordan, the Bruins team total over makes sense. I think there will be goals. And with the Hurricanes doing whatever they can to light the lamp, there's going to be odd man rushes to the other side. I think there's going to be goals. I'm taking the plus line over 5.5. I expect McElhaney to be in net. I don't know if that's being confirmed. He is, I think, better than Mrazek. I think he's perfect for this situation. I think he can be great. And we know Tuukka Rask has been great. The power play has been all over the place for this Bruins squad. They're dominating special teams. They'll continue to do that. 31.9% success rate in the postseason. Special. Russell Gordy says, Jimmy, Canes win just like the Sharks did. You know, it's possible. I know you were on the Canes in Game 3, and I know a lot of people are on the Canes here in Game 4. I'm not going to get in the way of the Bruins. I'm just going to expect goals. Alex Ramirez on the over, and I am on the over as well. There's my guy, the bartender, Aaron Bistrin. Says, lactation, Jimmy. Lactation. Interesting. The bartender says, what up, Jimmy? What up, my guy, Harry? Okay, so that's what's up. That is what's up. And there's Sportsbook saying main event breakdown should be on Odds Market today. I'm looking forward to read that. It's going to be nice to have you here in the chat, Sportsbook, while we break down UFC Fight Night. There's Playoff Streets. Ready to go. I'm late, but I'm here. Okay. So all that said and done, let's get to these next group of games because there's 3 baseball games that are going to be going off during the show. The first one is Orioles Indians. Let's take a little look at what we're dealing with. Straley, Bauer. The total opened at 8. It was actually heavily juiced to the under, and now it's 9 across the board. Cleveland's been taking money all day. They opened at minus 300. 50-cent move. A 50-cent move towards the Cleveland Indians. And there's King Rail said, just crack the Henny. Catch you on King's Court. Have a great show and good luck all. Much love, King Rail. I get to be on King's Court today. I'm going to open up a bottle as soon as I'm done this show. Relax and have some fun with you guys. But I'm going a little delirious, so I think we'll get some laughs. Okay. Von Burgess saying Boston going over today. Playoff Street saying Bruins under today. We will see. And happy Thursday to you, Brandon Lugo. Happy Thursday to you. Okay. Red Girl on the Indians first 5. I mean, what kind of run line do you have to take? Because the money line on the first 5 against Straley is, I guess it's the same, minus 3. It goes up to minus 360 at Bovada. Adis on the Indians run line. Trevor Bauer's been a little questionable lately. Straley gets touched by left-handed bats. Let's see what we're getting in the lineups here. Oh, that's not it. Sorry, that is the card. Okay, that is what I'm missing here. Okay, sorry. Everything's coming up. Pimlico. Okay, let's get a look at these lineups right now. Here we go. And the daily lineups. Let's get it right now. For the Cleveland Indians, we're getting Lindor, Kipnis, Santana, Gonzalez, Ramirez, Bowers, Luplow, Martin, and Perez. Luplow's been very hot of late. So is Martin a bit. For the Orioles, VR, Dwight Smith, Mancini, Davis, Wilkerson, Nunez, Rio, Ruiz, Severino, and Alberto. Orioles are hitting 236, 695 OPS versus righties. Amazingly, that's better than what the Indians are doing. Look at Dave LA on Orioles plus 2.5. Also added Pirates money line and Cardinals team total over. I'm going to grab that. Look, there's Beats in the house. On his way to Vegas. Oh, I love hearing that. Crush it and have the time of your life, Beats. What a great guy he is right there. Okay, let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling right now. Where are we? Okay, here we go. And here we go. Okay, Orioles, Indians. So Orioles have lost 6 of 7. Indians have just won, they've lost 6 of 10. They're not winning games either. But they just erupted for 5 homers and 9 runs on Tuesday, had Wednesday off. Here we are Thursday, opening 11-game homestand. Cleveland still has the second worst batting average in the AL at 221. Third lowest run total at 3.66 a game. As we said, Luplow is rolling. Leonis Martin has been hitting. Orioles pitching staff didn't look bad in that doubleheader. They were just getting no offense, but they've been bad throughout the year. The Orioles have allowed a major league worst 89 home runs through 42 games. Wow. Straley, 6 runs, 5 hits, 4 1/3 last out. He's 0-1 with a 3.86 ERA against Cleveland in 2 career starts. Bauer looked much better at Oakland on Saturday, allowed 2 runs, both unearned, 2 hits, 10 strikeouts, 7 innings. I could understand. JD says both teams heavy under trenders, under or pass. And that's interesting because our guy, our guy here, Jose Villegas, talking about Pete Loshak's video today. Loshak is on the over in this game. He's on the over, and he's on the Indians team total over. Enjoy Nick says O's are bad. Dion Davis says this weather sucks. In Cleveland today, it's nice. 73 Fahrenheit, 11 miles per hour is the wind out to right center. Russell Gordy's on the Pirates, Seattle Mariners, and Chi Sox. I'm with him on the Chi Sox. Flipper 13 took the plus 1.5 as well. Interesting. So Dave LA took plus 2.5 and minus 130, and Flip took plus 1.5 at plus 140. That's very interesting. I don't have a move on this game, but those of you on the under should be concerned when Loshak is on the over. Let's keep rolling. We have just a few minutes before we're joined here by and America. Okay, Cubs, Reds, Quintana, Castillo. Castillo's been the second best pitcher in the league this year after Soroka. Castillo, 4-1, 1.76 ERA, 56 and third, 70 Ks, 24 walks, 3 home runs allowed. Nufflush Allen came on our chat and said, don't worry. He said Castillo is allowing a ton of walks, and he has 24 walks in 56 and a third. There's R2D2 Finland. Says, what's up, Jimmy the Bag, Low Bagger family? Finland salutes you all, and we love you. We love you. Okay, Castillo, Quintana, 4-2, 3.50 ERA, 1.25 whip. He's been getting better and better as the season's gone on. Cubs are hitting 262, 803 OPS versus righties. Reds, 243, 765 OPS versus lefties. They're hitting lefties much better than they're hitting righties. Reds finally got a walk-off victory, their first since August of last season. On Wednesday, it was just the third loss in the last 16 games for the Cubs. They're rolling. Addison Russell hit a 2-run home run, first homer since the suspension for domestic violence. Quintana had a 4-game winning streak snapped on Friday. He's still playing well, but it was snapped. He allowed 3 runs, 4 hits over 6 2/3 against the Brewers, and we know the Brewers smash. He's pitching very well. Castillo's won 4 straight, struck out 11 in 6 shutout innings against the Giants. Castillo 2-1 with a 3.82 ERA, 6 career starts against the Cubs. And look at Nufflush on 10 walks in last 19 innings. Chris Kaiser on the Reds and over. Let's take a quick look at what this lineup is. And here we go. For the Reds, Senzel, Votto, Suarez, Puig, Iglesias, Winker, Casali, Pereza, and Castillo. For the Cubbies, Schwarber, Bryant, Descalso, Baez, Contreras, Caratini, Hayward, Almora Jr. I do not like that lineup for the Cubbies. Let's take a quick look at what's going on with this line movement. Cubs open at plus 135, so it'd be a 9-cent move towards the Cubs. And let's take a look at this total. And what is the weather here for the total? 81 Fahrenheit, beautiful. 7 miles per hour out to left field. And this total opened at 8.5, and it's now at 8. Jinrami says, too easy to say Indians will destroy Orioles. That line is minus 300 range and keeps dropping. Cuban Connect says, Jimmy, what do you think about Bruins minus 1.5? Do you think team total over is better play? Yeah, I guess I would take, I guess there's going to be a lot of early net pulling. You're going to get a huge plus line on the Bruins minus 1.5. I think the team total over is safer. I think it's safer. There's my guy, Jose Villegas. Owen Dale, always mining and win-win-win. I've got Owen Dale in exacta boxes with both always mining and win-win-win. R2D2 Finland liking the Cubs under 8.5. Says under 6-1 past 7 games. Flipper 13 liking the Reds first 5 minus 135. I've been surprised to see how many people are on the Cubs. How many people aren't afraid to fade the Reds. Chris Kaiser says public moving on the around the under, pushing the under down because of the pitchers' ERAs. There's a lot of truth to that. All right, I do not have a move right now. I'll go over my plays, and they're coming up in the Jays-White Sox game and the Mariners-Twins game, but at this point, I have no action. Moneyline Global like in the Cubs and St. Louis under. I think that is an interesting look. I wish I could have got that at 8.5. Do you want it at 8? Is there an 8.5 anywhere? No. And the 8's at plus money. Farshad Asami saying Bruins money line tonight. I get it. Rostradamus says extra day of rest for both starters, but over ump. Wow. That's tricky. Let's go to Cardinals at Braves. 81. Oh, I just did that. I said 81 Fahrenheit. Sorry. The weather in Cincinnati, I gave you the wrong weather. 78 Fahrenheit. 9 miles per hour sideways out to left field. Sideways. All right, Cardinals, Braves, 81 Fahrenheit. Partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour out to left field. That was the right one. Wainwright, Teheran. Wainwright looked so bad last year. So bad. And this year he's looked pretty good. And he's getting better. This is the one game that does start at 7:20 Eastern. Then we have 3 late games. involved with the Padres and Mariners, West Coast teams, and the White Sox, so we can break those games down when we have Trotwam and Big Boss with us. Let's just finish off with this Atlanta-St. Louis spot. Both teams hitting around the same against righties. Braves a little bit worse, 257-52 OPS. Teheran has looked better, being good in his last 2 starts. 6 scoreless against the Marlins on May 5th. That's not saying much. But 1 run in 6 innings against the Diamondbacks last Friday. Both games on the road. We know he always pitches strong. Well, he's a difficult guy to trust. Making his 7th career start against St. Louis. 2-3, 3.18 ERA against the Cardinals. Beat them 5-1. The Braves brought up another slugger, 22-year-old Riley. This guy is a monster. Their best player, position player prospect, hit a 438-foot home run on Wednesday. The guy's rolling. As we said, Wainwright coming off one of his best starts of the season. 1 run, 7 innings, struck out 8. Looked great. He's rolling. He's 9-3 with a 3.29 ERA in 18 career games against the Braves. Russell Gordy liking the under in Atlanta. Teheran, Wainwright, under. Let's take a look at what we're getting. A lot of games being skewing over early. For the Braves, we've got Acuna, Swanson, Freeman, Donaldson, Markakis, Austin Riley, we're just talking about. Brian McCann, Ozzie Albies. For the Cards, Carpenter, Goldschmidt, DeYoung, Ozuna, Martinez, Molina, Fowler, Wong, and Wainwright. Cards, Braves. Let's take a look at what the market has done with this game. Cards, Braves. Total open at 9.5. Now it's at 10. That's very high. That's very high. What's that first half under? 5.5. Man. Vaughn Burgess says that Atlanta game can easily go over it. There's born in 94. Born in 94. Ross Thomas says Riley is a stud. R2D2 says surprise under in St. Louis. Joe Anise says only played tonight, his first 5 over in the Padres game. R2D2 Finland liking the Cards under. Says total, and then total 2I, says Elliot V. Chris Kaiser liking the under. Says nope, bats cold under. Interesting look. Elliot V saying way too high, full game under. Yes, Cuban Connect, we're gonna take it to the next level in Miami. I'm so excited about that. Okay, so at this point, I've not added anything on those early games. At this point, I'm still with the very small card, Blue Jays, White Sox. I got 2 plays on that game. I'm on the White Sox on the plus line, and I'm on the over 9 at -117. Then I'm on the over 9.5 in Twins Mariners, and I don't have a play yet on Pirates Padres, but we do know that the tape play today is on the Padres. Russell Gordy saying Cards, bats, ice cold. So I'm pretty saying it's 10 for a reason. That's tough. It's tough. And I've not added many plays. I guess my head is focused on the Preakness right now. I've not added many plays, and I'm not going to force it. I could understand the under, but I could understand the under in a couple games earlier today that both shot over, and I stayed off it. Daryl Lyles is on the over. All right, we'll talk more about these games with Trotwam and our guy DJ Big Boss. But now, let's talk about UFC Fight Night. Get our UFC fight expert, Anna Merrick, in the house on this Thursday evening. How are you doing tonight?
What's going on, Jimmy? I'm doing pretty well. How's it going, low baggers in the chat? I'm coming off of another bad week, unfortunately, back-to-back ass kickings, so I'm looking to get things back on track.
Yes, we need things back on track. We need them badly. So I've been so caught up in the Preakness right now. Can you break down a little bit about UFC Fight Night location, where it is, what time it starts, and what you're thinking just peripherally?
Yeah, absolutely. We're headed to Rochester this week. And, it's a really weird card. This is a card that I'm really struggling with. I wanted to come back in here and come back strong and give my usual 5 to 6 plays, really get some of those units back. But we got to tread lightly on this card. There's some really, really wide lines, some big favorites. And usually you'd think I'd be taking some of those dogs because of the wide lines. But I can't, because I think the favorites win it. So it's going to be a real tricky card for us this week. We're gonna be careful.
We are going to be careful. Okay, I hear that. I'm pulling up the odds and the market moves here at sportsbookreview.com. Here we go. Let's start off with the Antonio Carlos Jr. Ian Heinisch. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Fight. Antonio Carlos Jr. opens up at -193. There has been a 22-cent move towards the underdog in this bout. What's your call? What's your angle? Break it down for me.
This is the one and only big dog on the card that I really like. Ian Heinz is a monster. The dude is in phenomenal shape. He's big for the division. He's got an excellent wrestling takedown type of defense style, and then he just doesn't stop. His fight name is the Hurricane, and it works perfectly for him. He brings it on, and he's got a killer instinct like none other. Antonio Carlos Jr. is no joke. He's got a real sharp submission game, so don't be surprised if he gets this thing done in like the second round by rear naked choke. But there is value on Ian Heinz at plus 160, anything above plus 150 in my opinion, because he's going to be the guy that will be physically strong enough to stop that takedown, and ACJ might gas out in the later rounds, which if Ian has a chance to pour it on, he will. And that means we can squeak out a decision, maybe a split decision, or he could put him away late in the second or the third when ACJ can't get the takedown anymore.
Interesting look. You're jumping on the dog. How did Ian Heinz?
Heinz.
Ian Heinz and Americ jumping on the dog. If you wanted Heinz right now, you can get him at plus 150. That's at Pinnacle, Bet365, and Heritage. Heinz. I like it. I like Dirty Rochester, man. I like it. I always have. I always worked weekends. So on Sundays, I'd hit the road, get down to Rochester, get a cheap hotel room, start partying, and then Monday, Tuesday, I would hit Finger Lakes Racetrack. I like the Dirty Chester, man. I like the Dirty Chester. Okay, let's move on to the second fight here. And let me grab the odds page, quickly here. Okay, we have RDA in the house. Rafael Dos Anjos up against Kevin Lee. RDA opening at minus 119. A 4-cent move towards Kevin Lee. Break this down for us.
Here we go with the main event of the evening, and this is a really interesting fight. So Kevin Lee is a real hyped prospect, and he's been just way too big for 155. He struggles with the weight cut. He has a hard time there, and he's a wrestler, submission, grappler type of fighter. And he's just having a hard time. Lightweight is the deepest division in the UFC right now, and he's having a hard time getting down there as his body kind of naturally fills out. He's a real thick guy. So he's moving up to 170, and I think that's a good move for him personally. But he's moving up against Rafael Dos Anjos, who was a former champion at 155 and maybe one of the best 155ers we've ever seen. He's moved up to 170 himself due to the same exact issues. He's short and he's thick, and he actually lost his title because he passed out during his weight cut before his title defense, the last one he ever had, and then got his lights shut off because he had no water in his head from that weight cut. So he moves up to 170, and he's seen phenomenal success. His last two fights have been against Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman, who is now currently the champion, and Colby Covington is the #1 contender in the division. So those are the only two guys he's lost to at 170 pounds, is literally the top two guys in the division, and they are both extraordinarily powerful wrestlers who chain grapple, and that's all they were able to do. They pin him up against the fence, they get him to the ground. He's got an amazing stand-up game, so they weren't even able to hold him down, and neither of them was able to put him away. So now here comes Kevin Lee moving up to 170. He's probably going to have a little more gas in his tank. He's probably going to have a little more punch on it, some pop on his punches because he's got the extra weight on him. But he's not a chain grappler. He's not the high caliber wrestler that those two guys are. And if you're looking to submit a guy like Rafael Dos Anjos, good freaking luck. The dude's a legit Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So even if he does end up on his back in this fight, he will be able to stand back up, and he will be able to defend any type of submissions that Kevin Lee throws at him. On the feet, it's no contest. RDA is a much smoother opponent. He's a much more accurate striker, and I think RDA is able to defend, and I think Kevin Lee, even at 170, will slow down when it gets to round 3, 4, and 5, and I'll bet you RDA pours it on, might even finish him late.
There we go. RDA around minus 110, depending where you shop. And adding to that, Americ, my guy, I see that you have a parlay for the boys. Please, take it away. Love to hear this.
All right, we had to do a parlay because of how damn wide these lines are. So like I said, there are a lot of big favorites on this card, and I can't hand out a bunch of dogs because I just don't think they're coming through. So our parlay, we're going to get just under even money by parlaying Pat Cummins and Aspen Ladd. Aspen Ladd is fighting Sajara Eubanks in a rematch. The two of them went all 3 rounds, and Aspen Ladd basically is just one notch above her in all levels. She was able to pick her apart over 3 rounds. Both of them have been improved. Aspen Ladd more so than Sajara Eubanks. I think this is going to be a mirror fight of the last one. Sajara Eubanks is the older of the 2 fighters, and she's more of a ground fighter of the 2. And Aspen Ladd's a phenomenal wrestler. So this is going to stay standing because neither of them is going to be able to get the edge on the ground. And if anyone is going to get the takedown, it will be Ladd. So if anything, Eubanks will be on her back. And you don't win this game from your back unless you can submit. The judges aren't going to hand it over to her. So we're on Aspen Ladd. The line is about -300, -290. Way too much juice to lay here. But in a parlay, we can bring it down to about even money. Pat Cummins is in a very, very similar circumstance where he's a dominant wrestler, and he's going to be facing Ed Herman. Ed Shortfuse Herman is a 38-year-old guy who just has no reflexes at this point. He's got some knockout power, and that's basically all he's got as a puncher's chance in this fight. Pat Cummins, he loses to the top end of the division, but he can wrestle with the best of them. And you know what? Pat Cummins shown that he's dirty, he's gritty. He's perfect for Dirty Rochester. He's going to get in there and put a grind on this thing. Ed Herman, he tries to work off his back, and it's just not going to work. He won't be able to get back up from a guy like Pat Cummins. And if he does get back up, Pat's going to be right back on him like glue. So we got -241 Pat Cummins, parlay him for about even money, and we'll make that work.
I like it. Cummins Ladd parlay around -120. Elliot V, though, says short fuse will knock him out. Sportskeg says Lee went 37-0 in his sophomore year in college wrestling. The problem is that he doesn't use his wrestling. Forgets what got him to the dance in the first place. That's why he will lose. Elliot V says Pat Cummins will lose because of the mustache. Interesting.
Oh, the mustache game is on point. That's messed up.
I love it. I love it, Clint. So, sometimes you need to go to the dirty Chester to get your mojo back. I have done it in my life. When I have been struggling, I've gone down to Rochester, gone down to Finger Lakes, filled my water bottle up with vodka, and got my mojo back. And I think that's what's going to happen for you here in Rochester, Clint. Thank you so much for joining us. So we have Ian Heinz at +160, RDA at -111, and a parlay, Cummins Ladd. Cummins at -241, Ladd -290, giving us a -120 parlay. Thank you so much, my guy, Anna Merrick. Where can we find you on Twitter? Tell us a little more about your podcast.
I'm at Maximus in 3D on Twitter for everything I'm into. If you just want my MMA content, I am the Die Hard MMA podcast at Die Hard MMA Pod on Twitter. I am coming off a horrific run of 1-12 on my picks, but I'm going to turn that shit around. We're still up 27 units since the beginning of January 2019, and there are some people calling for my head. There are some people wanting me replaced on the show after 2 bad weeks. And let me tell you, I've been giving out winners for free for the last 5 months, and I have 2 bad weekends, and you want me off the show? Come on, man. Come on, man. Give me a little more love than that. We're going to bounce back. We'll get those units back. Starting it this week, and then we get a week break. There's no MMA next week, so give me a follow over on Twitter. I've got some my eyes on some totals for this weekend. They're not out yet, but I'll tweet them as soon as I feel solid enough to.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, son.
We support you. We support you. There's our guy, Maximus in 3D on Twitter, our guy, Anna Merrick, who will be backing. He will get that money back immediately for us, is what I think. And we'll go to Rochester to do it. Shout out to our guy, Anna Merrick. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, we're going to bounce right over. We're going to bounce right over to a guy who puts a smile on my face nonstop, all day, air day. Let's bring on our guy, Mr. DJ Big Boss, representing Long Beach, California, in the house on a Thursday afternoon. How you doing, Big Boss?
Oh no, Jimmy. It's Tout Thursdays over here. It's Big Boss the Mule, baby. Big Boss the Mule over here. I got the hottest pick going down. You know what I'm saying? Send me 50K. I sing in 3 barrels of hay. What's up, Jimmy? Happy Thursday to you.
Oh, Big Boss. Big Boss the Mule. Big Boss the Mule. This is very exciting. This is very exciting. Well, you know, I don't have 50 large on me right now, but I'd be interested in what you are selling. What's first on the docket, Big Boss?
Well, look here, Jimmy. I've been doing kind of bad lately, so just send me $3.99 and some super glue, and we cool. But let's get into some baseball, man. I only got one game left today. Goes down to this Pittsburgh versus San Diego Padres game right here, man. And this is gonna be my rootin' tootin' boot kicking play of the day right here, Jimmy. So I was looking at this game, man. This game is crazy. They back and forth. All of the stats in this game right here are neck and neck, Jimmy. Overall, Pittsburgh is 21-19, and San Diego is 22-21. At home, San Diego is 10-11. On the road, Pittsburgh, they 21-19. I mean, everything's so close. Even the public is close. It's been 47-53, 50-50. So I cannot take a side on this one, Jimmy. So since we got to go on over to a total, and remember, today's Boom School Play of the Day is going to come in at a total, okay? So look here. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go look at these pictures real quick. Now, this guy, Trevor Williams, now he from San Diego, He from San Diego. So he going home with his nice team, Pittsburgh, to play in his home city. So I expect him to do a lot better than he did his last time out, because the last time out, Jimmy, he totally stunk up the field. He gave up 9 hits, almost 8 runs or something. He was cutting up. So I expect him to bounce back a little bit in front of the home fans. But when you've been doing it that long, it's just going to come on back, and he's going to get touched probably either late in the 5th, maybe in the 4th, somewhere up in there. And I was on this side. I was going to take Pittsburgh first 5 plus 110, but I just couldn't do it, Jimmy. So what I'm going to do for this Boot and Scoop Play of the Day after I match these 2 pitchers, because I don't really care for Laurel. Laurel, he all right. Little Laurel, he all right. I like little Laurel, but he been touched too, Jimmy. Every time he come out, he give up 6 last game. He give up he gave up 8 last game. He gave up 4 before that, 2, 6, 8. With capping down both these pitches, I just see hits and hits and hits and hits. And hits mean scores to me. Now, the line did come out at 8 and went down to 7.5. But the money is matched up. It's 110 on both sides. So I can't really look at the line move to stop me from jumping over the edge with the rootin' tootin' boot kick play of the day, which is going to be the over 7.5 San Diego Padres Pittsburgh game. Remember, it's only going to cost you $3.99 and some super glue. Send it to me, Jimmy.
Oh, the rootin' tootin' bootlicking play. You got Lucrative Larry giving you the arms. You're getting the arms from Lucrative Larry. The rootin' tootin' bootlicking play of the day is the Pirates Padres over. And that is still dropping. You can now get the over at 7. Even though I find that hard to believe that Bet365 would be leading the way. It says here, I would double check it if I was going to take it. But very interesting look. Trevor Williams from Rancho Bernardo High. We have a couple Bernardos up in the Pacific Northwest who are known for something different. But Williams attended Rancho Bernardo High, north of San Diego. He struggled in his 2 career starts in San Diego, 0-1, 6.75 ERA. And Eric Lauer, it looks awful. But these buccos can't hit lefties. 234, 607 OPS. This is very, very interesting. Dave LA says it's so windy in San Diego. It is. 16 miles per hour sideways. My God. My God. And there is Trotweb. I'm thinking about joining you on this rootin' tootin' bootlicking total that you're on. I'm wondering, Big Boss, are you also rolling with a Trotwam?
Oh, you know I got my buddy Trot Wham in the house, man. But before I turn it over to Trot Wham, man, I got a couple things to tell the people, Jimmy. First, I want to talk a little bit about this Preakness coming up. Uh, Me and the LA Lowbackers, we're gonna be down at the Los Alamitos racetrack. We're gonna be there from about 2 to the end of the race. And we're gonna be down there for the Preakness, having a good old time, drinking dollar beers, having hot dogs. So I did a little studying on the Preakness, Jimmy. I really, 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 really like Laughing Fox, Jimmy. He's a really classy horse, but he's being played down a little bit. Now, I'm kind of throwing out improbable. I think my man Baffert is just trying to do everything he can to get this guy win. He then got Mike Smith and threw him on the saddle, and I just don't see it happen. It just ain't this year. The Santa Anita thing just threw his whole thing off. And, same thing to go to Wayne Lucas, throw all his horses out, And War Will, I really like War Will. That's a real tough, sturdy, rough horse, but the horse is kind of heavy. This track here is going to be clean. It's going to be fast. They drop Warriors Charge in there. Warriors Charge going to bring that pace up. Bodie Express going to be out there trying to bring that pace up too. So the pace is going to be high. It's going to be fast. You're going to have to be lean, trim, and about your money to get over there to that line to win that Preakness. So I'll do some more studying, but that's where I'm at with that, man. What about you, Jimmy?
I like the horses you were talking about. I think Improbable flattens out. Son of City Zip, who's always had problems with distance. Only one Son of City Zip has won huge Grade 1 stakes races at 1.25 miles. I know this is 1 mile 3/16 that's collected. Laughing Fox, the Steve Asmussen, Ricardo Santana Jr. duo is straight fire right now. Laughing Fox will be coming running. He's going to have pace to run into. Does he have fast enough speed figures? I don't know. But I like your looks. I have him in some of my exactas. My exactas all are centered around the 5 Owendale. The 5 Owendale is the horse I have to win the Preakness Stakes. I have Owendale, and thank you for bringing up the Preakness Stakes because I got to put out our Beat the Bag contest, which I will do very soon. But I like your looks. I think Laughing Fox is a dangerous long shot that should be used in exotics. Wow, that was some rootin' tootin' boot licking from our guy DJ Big Boss. Man, I wish I could be in Los Alamitos with you guys on Saturday. And now, look who's here. Oh, feels good to be looking at my boy Trot Wham. Trot Wham, how you doing on this Thursday?
What's good? What's good, low baggers? What's good, Jimmy? I appreciate the opportunity, man. Bro, out here, bro. I can't complain. How about you, bro? How you feeling?
Same old thing with me. I'm struggling with pneumonia and drinking heavy, which probably isn't helping my pneumonia. Let's talk about what you are looking at on today's card. Trot Wham, what's up? What are you looking at?
I'm riding with the squad, man. I think I'm riding with Dave LA and Big Ragu. I like that first 5 money line of the Cubs. That one seems like a good shot to me. I think it's one of those things that it's probably a bad spot for the Cubs. And we know who has the best ERA in the first 5. It's that guy on the other side right here of Cincinnati. It's a Camaro, whatever his name is. I think it's time to get that down to realistic terms in this case. He's going to get some pretty good lineup. I like the Cubs first 5. I think I'm riding with the squad on this one.
The Cubbies first 5. Interesting look with Quintana. Let's see what you're getting on the Cubbies first 5. Castillo's not being touched lately, but Nutflush Allen wants to fade him, and you're getting a big score. Plus 130 all the way up to plus 137 at BetOnline. So you could even take him plus a half run if you want. There it is. Cubbies first 5. Is that your only look on the MLB card?
I heard Ian Cameron say about the Minnesota-Seattle game, and both of these pitchers are pretty damn basic, bro. When you see basic pitchers coming on the mound, you kind of take the over in this case, and I like this over with the 9.5 against Seattle. I don't Oh man, bro, I haven't made this play. I was wanting to talk to you about it, see what able to see you face to face. What you think, bro?
I jumped on. I was sold on the over 9.5. Pineda looks like something's wrong with him. 2-3, 5.85 ERA, 1.45 WHIP. Swanson's been terrible. Now the Twins get Miguel Sano back. I have no idea who Miguel Sano is anymore. Missed the first 42 games after sustaining a deep laceration on his heel, celebrating his Dominican-themed Winter League championship. This guy batted 199 last year. We remember him being just a monster. Maybe he could bring that back. He did go 316 with 2 homers, 9 RBIs in the Twins farm system in his 10 rehabilitation games. Pineda just looks terrible. 5.71 ERA, 3 career starts against Seattle. He just looks bad. It looks like something's wrong with him. And then Eric Swanson's been terrible all year. It just goes to show what kind of pitching staff the Seattle is working with, that they keep using Swanson. 7 home runs and allowed in 28 in the third. I'm on this over 9.5. So is Lance LaRose. Moneyline Global says take Seattle moneyline. My question, though, is why I thought that when I got it on the morning show, this would just get bet up. Bet up and bet up and bet up, and that has not been the case. Let's just quickly look at the total here. The over 9.5 has actually been bet down. At 9:53 a.m., it was at over 9.5 at minus 110. At 6:47, it was minus 113. Now it's minus 105. It actually got to a plus line at Pinnacle about an hour ago. Not even, about, 25 minutes ago. It got up to over 9.5 was at plus 102 or 101. The money came back on it. That makes me a little uncomfortable, but I am on the over 9.5. I did bite the bullet, take it, and bet it. So I like it.
Yes, I think that's a double for me. I think you can knock me down for that one too, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and make that official. You say the best at Pinnacle?
The best line you
Get
can
that
get
one,
for the
bro.
over 9.5 is pretty much market. Pinnacle, 5 dimes, just them. Oh, and Bookmaker, all over 9.5 at minus 105. And Russell Gordy is going against us. Russell Gordy is on the under in this spot. Farshad Asami says Mariners will make Twins see double. Mariners money line. And then, so that's the best you get, 9.05, over 9.5 at minus 105. But then Brian Riley comes in and says, bet the house on the Blazers. And I know you are a great NBA capper, and we have a big game too in Oakland this evening. Blazers, Warriors. Money's been coming in on Blazers all day. They went from +8 to +7. That's a pretty decent sized move. And wow, Pinnacle is now at 6.5. So that's changed in the last 20 minutes or half an hour. This total has gone from 217 up to 220. Trotwam. Blazers, Warriors. You got an angle?
It's going down to 6.5. That is crazy at Heritage. That is crazy. I really was leaning. I'm leaning Portland all the way on the game. I think they're going to make the right adjustments. That's why I like this prop bet and hard bet this. I like Enes Kanter to not get a double plus 125 at Bovada. That's the one of the plays that I already made the Cubs bet before we got on. The pay I already met before that. So I was thinking about the 9.5. I'm gonna take that one too, bro. But those are the 3 plays that I'm on right now. I got the 9.5 over Seattle. I'm gonna take this low double or Cantor. I think he's gonna see less today. He's not really as effective, even though he did get a double last game. I don't think he's that type of player in this series. So I'm going to take no having double for Cantor about a plus 125.
I like that look on the Cantor, no double. That's interesting at a plus line. Rostradamus says Swanson had a bad start. Back to our over quickly. Bad start because of 106 pitches previous start. Threw only 81 pitches last start and got an extra day rest versus a team who never faced him. Hey, those are that all makes a ton of sense. All makes a ton of sense there. Aloha Eastside Rollers on the Blazers +7 and the over 219.5. I still fear that the Blazers are tired. So my play is the first half over 107.5. I think that's when I can count on buckets from both teams. And if you wanted the over 107.5 early, you could only get it 108 now. So I beat it by a half point. What do you think if I gave you a free play on the total? Would you go over or under the 219.5?
That's a great question. I've seen a lot of people edging the over. I mean, that looks like that's what wages are coming in. It's 220 at Bovada. I definitely would lean over, but this is one of those things in the playoffs. You wait for a certain type of adjustments to happen, and I think there can be some adjustments. That's why I do lean Portland, and that's why I think they are taking money. But if you think about it, if Portland is taking money, that means Golden State is not. I mean, if Portland winning this game, that means Golden State is not taking those three. You're really going to lean towards the under in this case. So I really don't have a play on that, but I would take over off my head because I think Golden State early is a good look as well. So it's kind of hard for me to tie this game. That's why I just narrowed it down to the inner counter prop.
I like that plus line on the Cantor prop a lot. Brian Riley liking the over in NBA. Brooke Jordan saying Golden State first half for her. Russell Gordy says very tired, Jimmy, out of gas, tired. Taking the under. Dion Davis says this game goes over. Blazers should be adjusted and ready to go. Aloha Eastside Rolla says y'all bugging. Lillard will go off today, and so he's on Portland and the over. Borden 94 calling me Saluta, asking me if I added any games for these games that are popping off right now. No, I did not. And I like it. Brooke Jordan says, I think Blazers will want to tighten up on their defense tonight. Bob Brockett says, agree, Golden State covers again. Gerald Martinez says, Coach Stotts is lost for ideas defensively. Seth saying how difficult it is to guard the Dubs without KD. And Farsha Asami saying, Warriors first half easy money. I like this first half over 107.5. Stack WAP on the under. I'm going to stick with this first half over 107.5. What a treat it is to see you, Trot Wham. You have been missed dearly on this show. Please come back to us more often. We'd love to see you weekly. Where can we find you on Twitter? What you got going on?
I mean, I'm just doing the regular day, bro, with that Big Boss. We got this MLB weekly contest. Check it out over there. And, you know, I'm always down, bro. I appreciate the opportunity, man. Just give me a line, bro. We ready to go any day.
I love it. I love it. Is DJ Big Boss going to pop in and say goodbye to us?
A 10 hut, Jimmy. I'm back in the building, and I want to tell everybody thanks for the love. I appreciate that. And, you know, catch me on YouTube, Who Banging Sports. Me and my man, Big Ragu, we're going to have some fun on there soon. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. When it pop up, it pop up. We was on this morning going over some studying on SBR odds and a whole bunch of other stuff. Hey, look here, Jimmy. I got a new whistle. But I'm going to save that for next week. Stay tuned for next week. DJ Boss, always love hanging out with you, Jimmy.
Oh, what a guy. What a guy. How can anything go wrong when you got DJ Big Boss in your life? Catch him at DJ Big Boss on Twitter. Check out his Hoop Bangin' Sports Talk Show. Shout out to our guy Trot Wham. That is at Trot Wham, TROTWAM. My guys. And if you're in the LA area, Los Alamitos, on Saturday, they're all going to get together, get drunk, watch the Preakness. My guys. All right, let's move on. We have Ski Prophet joining us, the NBA Whisperer, the quiet assassin, right now joining us from Los Angeles, California. Ski, I hope you're rolling this at Los Alamitos with the boys, man. And I hope Big Boss has his whistle and his hat on. But first off, Thursday afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
Hey, Big Boss is a character, man. Every time I see Big Boss, I'm just dying laughing. So you definitely want to make it out to Los Alamitos if you can, because it'll definitely be a good time. And I'm ready to break the game down. I'm kind of interested to hear your take on that first half over that you're doing. I don't actually have a play coming into the show, so I'm looking to make one.
Perfect. And you are rolling. You are rolling hot as always. I was actually going to wait to make this play until you got here, but I had a feeling it would go up, and it went up a half point, so I guess I'm sort of right. I guess, okay, breaking it down for me, this Warriors bench was made fun of, was told they were trash, was told they were nothing. They were 28th out of 30 teams off the bench during the regular season points-wise. They get destroyed by the Clippers bench in round one. Durant goes down. We all say, God, the Blazers have this huge bench advantage. And these guys stepped up. And I think they continue to do that. That's what good teams do, is they rally around each other. They rally around injuries. They are more than the sum of their parts. And that's what these 8 Warrior backups have done. So I think knowing that Steve Kerr has a bench, I think he's more than comfortable at keeping a very fast pace. I think the Blazers are still tired. I don't really know if the Warriors are that fresh, to be honest with you. I mean, they had the same amount of days off as the Raptors. I see a 107.5 first half. We know that Oakland's going to be rocking. I can trust the Blazers' legs early. Can I trust the Blazers' legs late? I don't know. I'm on the Blazers first half here, over 107.5. That unit of Thompson, Cook, Livingston, Jerebko, Bell. Seeing Jerebko hitting those threes, I was impressed. And I thought, who's going to get in the way of these Warriors? Jay Money came on the show yesterday. I wanted to get a little tip on what he was going to be on tomorrow, which is today. And he's on the over, and he's on the Blazers. The market's moved on the Blazers, and I was so interested in if you thought that was the right move. Pinnacle at 6.5 now.
And you know what? It's an interesting spot for me. I mean, my numbers, for the most part, everything I'm looking at trend-wise, number-wise, it's not too far off from the last game. I mean, we have the same spread. It's the same situation, minus Portland fresh off of Game 7. And my numbers say Golden State, but my gut says Portland. So the market is agreeing with my gut. I'll go through some of these numbers right here. When the spread is +6 to +9, Portland's 1-6. They're 12-19 as a road dog. Playoff stats era, they're 17, 34-2 against the spread. On the road specifically, 8, 19-2. That's 29.6% covering the spread. So I'm not really a believer or backer of Portland on the road. Although I do think, I mean, this is the spot where they have to do it. If you think Portland had any chance in the series, I mean, they're going to bring it tonight. And one thing I will say that bucks that trend. This year in the playoffs, they're 3-0 straight up and against the spread in the road game after a loss. So maybe it's a new Blazer team. I mean, they haven't been to the conference finals, so maybe they buck that trend again here. My gut says that they do buck that trend. Some stats that favor the Warriors. They're 28-1. That's 29 without KD. 5-1 this year. 23-12 against the spread. Last 35. As a single point favorite, 38-21 against the spread. And here's some interesting stats. Since 2005, teams that shoot 50% and have 30 plus assists, they're 42-25 against the spread in the next game. And when they're a favorite, they're 27-11 against the spread. That's 71.1%. So basically just saying good teams continue playing well, and I think I see that. I don't really see how much Portland can adjust on defense to stop Golden State. They can make adjustments to play better on offense. The one thing they need to do on defense, though, for sure, is step up on Steph Curry off the screen. But besides that, I don't see them shutting anybody down the way Klay Thompson is checking Lillard or McCollum. So I think they do continue to play well. But at the same time, Warriors shot lights out from 3. And since 05, teams that shot 50% from 3, they're 91-6 against the spread in the playoffs. So, I mean, that's just regression right here. One last thing I will say. KD played 12. My bad. I want to say 16 and 14 against the spread at home after win. Straight up and against the spread. KD played 12 of the 30. So when KD was playing, Golden State was 3-9 against the spread with him. So basically, they take a break after a big game, after a big blowout game, because they know they're going to win the next game anyway. They got the best players. But without KD, they still got that chip on their shoulder. They're 13-5 against the spread. And, I mean, I still have to – if I have to play, I'm going to put my bet to the side and trust the number back Golden State. On the first half, especially, Blazers average 50 points on the road, and Golden State averages 59.5. That's about 7.5 point edge and I think the line is 4. So I would like Golden State on the first half. I have to play on the game. I'll trust the numbers and play Golden State minus the 6.5. I think you said before I came on. And the total is still tricky, Jimmy.
You know,
First game I thought it would go over. Go ahead, my bad.
no, it's all good. No, all good. I want to hear what you have to say about the total. I also do want to touch on the Raptors game tomorrow, just because I'm not going to have you tomorrow, so I need to just to leche every little bit of information I can get from you. So, total-wise, okay, listen. I'm not going to get in the way of the Warriors here, even if we have great cappers in our chat. We got Jay Money's on Portland. We got people liking Portland. I'm not going to get in the way of the Warriors. I agree that situationally, at least the Blazers got to wake up in Portland because they've been on a real tough schedule, especially leaving Mile High. We see what happens to bats offensively when they leave Mile High. It's got to happen with legs as well. So I'm not surprised that they shot poorly in this game. I think you're right about their offense can improve, but can their defense? Steph Curry is so quick. He takes that shot so quick. That's very difficult to stop, especially when he knows he's the scoring option. He knows there's no KD who needs to eat as well. It's just him and Clay that need to eat. I like the first half over. I'm very comfortable with it. I just want to pitch a couple ideas here. We have Seth Curry over under points 5.5. Seth Curry 5.5. He did not look good. He did not look good in game 1. Does he look better here? Lillard and McCollum 26.5, 23.5. The book thinks they're going to score 50 points combined after they scored 36 points in game 1. Does that surprise you? Steph Curry over under 31.5. Klay Thompson 24.5. Do any of those numbers jump out at you?
I don't really like for Lillard to go over. I would lean more for McCollum to go over. And Klay Thompson, I would probably lean more for Steph Curry to go over than Klay Thompson. And one more time, who was the first player?
Seth Curry. Seth Curry at 5.5.
Yeah, he probably will make 2 threes. So, I mean, I could probably see some value in that one as well. And Jimmy, I wanted to ask you, you put me on that Pinnacle and Bookmaker, where they're leaning. Tell me what they're saying about the total in this game here.
Oh, there. Well,
while I talk about it a little bit.
Sure. Before I just guess, I should actually look. So they're saying full game. They are the only Pinnacle and Bet Online has not moved to 220. They are still hanging 219.5. Pinnacle's hanging at 219.5 and minus 111. Pinnacle's asking you, hey, if you want to take the over, please take it here. So that to me says Pinnacle, but it's plus 101 to take the under. So I don't know. I guess there's mixed messages. I guess there's mixed messages because there's still a plus line on the under. So if Pinnacle was at over 219.5 at minus 105 each way, maybe I would think a little different. But Pinnacle and BetOnline have not moved up to 220. And for the first half totals, Pinnacle, the over at minus 104 they're uncomfortable. It tells me that they don't want over first half, but they'd be happy to have over full game.
And I would agree with that thought process. Like I said, when I thought about the game initially, the first game and this game, I thought it would go over. And I got to think about it again, just because CJ, Damian Lillard, the Blazers as a whole, you can't really see him playing that bad again. Sorry, I have an echo, but I'm dealing with it. You can't really see them playing that bad again, but at the same time, the Warriors shot lights out, and I don't think they're going to shoot lights out again. So, Warriors under 29-19 at home. Blazers under 25-22 away. The under is 24-11. Last 35 without KD, with Steph. I'd have to lean on the under again. Warriors definitely play more towards the over on the road. And they could still be tired. I mean, they just got, another 2 days or a day in between the games? Maybe in the next game when they go back home, we'll see a fresh Portland. I'm not sure we see it here. I'd have to lean under that total. I'm liking Warriors first half, -4. I'm like an under 220. And if I have to play the full game spread, I would have to trust the numbers with the Warriors.
I agree. I agree with that look. Now, when you cap NBA the way you do, you'd be very comfortable going against the market. I hesitate unless I'm 100% on something to go against the market, so I'm not going to do it here. So let me ask you, before I ask you about the Raptors-Bucks game, do you have an official play yet? You got time. You got lots of time, so no reason to force it. But do you have an official play yet?
Well, I'll tell you this. The one play that I'm willing to make right now is going to be the under. And the reason being is I feel like everybody's on the Warriors first half, and I don't really like making plays that everybody's on. I'm not sure. I think majority of people are betting the Warriors as well. So I don't really, I shy away from that too. I might still pick one of the two on Twitter, but I'm willing to back that under. I know majority of everybody's on the over, just like the first game. I think we can still go under that number. I like under 220.
Yeah, just like the game last night, first half over, second half under. I really think that could be a part of this. Farshad Sammy says, I'm telling you, Jimmy, Blazers are tired. Under 220 and -4, Warriors -4 first half. I get that. Moneyline Global liking Warriors is an under. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, we've got to bounce. We've got to move on. But I can't do that without asking you about this Raptors-Milwaukee game. Milwaukee opens at, and you just leans, unless you have more than that. Milwaukee opens at -7, now -6.5. The total opens at 214.5 and it's being bet up 215.5 at Bookmaker and 216 at Bet365 and 5 times. You don't even need to talk about what you would make. What's just your general feel? I thought that a lot of people are talking about how, if the Raptors, they're gonna rue the day they didn't take care of business in game one. It's gonna break their spirit that they were so close. I don't think that's gonna happen mentally with that team. I think what they're thinking now is, look, we can beat this team. We can go into Milwaukee and beat this team. Everybody other than Kyle Lowry went 0 for 15 in the fourth, and we barely lost. We can go in and beat this team in game two, and I'm close to backing them on both +6.5 and the money line. I don't think it hurts them coming close and losing. I think it gives them a lot of belief in what they're doing. What do you think?
I agree with your thought process, Jimmy. And I definitely have to give a lot of credit to Kyle Lowry because I know I dog him out all the time, and he had the game of his life. And it's sad that they didn't win, but yeah, he showed up for sure. And you take away Toronto game one, bad game ones. I think 6.5 is a lot of points. I thought Milwaukee was rested, and I did think they would cover the last game. They did barely, but I think 6.5 again. I think the Raptors can win outright. I'd have to agree with you, Jimmy.
Yeah. And I think that's where the value is taking them outright to win on the money line. It opened at 235. Money's come. Oh, no, that's not true. Sorry, a 5-cent move towards the Raptors. I think that it's a nice little split unit play there on the spread and on the money line. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. So great to have you joining us, Ski. You are a huge asset to us. And where can we find you on Twitter? And what else you got going on? What other shows you got going on this week?
Also, my bad, Jimmy. Toronto 15-5 against the spread last 20 first half. Milwaukee, they haven't covered, I think, the last 6 first quarters, first half. So maybe you want to get on Toronto early. And today's Thursday. You can catch me on the Closing Line Show with Drew and Ian on Saturday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 Eastern. And good luck, everybody. Thank you for having me, Jimmy.
Oh, man, my pleasure. Ski, before you go, my friend, at Ski Profit on Twitter, we have a dejected Freddie Fortune around the office, just wallowing in self-pity. I don't understand exactly what's going on with them, but maybe it'll make him feel a little better if you would introduce him. Maybe that's what he needs. He's just been down in the dumps. So could you please, for us, introduce Freddie Fortune?
Sure. I don't know if he's coming with the tie, but definitely everybody welcome my man. Hopefully it doesn't come with the robe either. I don't know about that one, Larry. But welcome, my man, Freddie Fortune. He's gonna come bring you a winner. Let's see if it's a tie or not. What's going on, Freddie?
Oh God. Oh no, no. Nothing. Yes. Yeah, you can.
Do the people hear you? Have any sound? Yes.
Yeah, okay.
How is everybody doing today?
Welcome to the show, Freddie. Why are you? What's going on with the outfit?
I'm not feeling well.
Okay.
I don't understand why I'm not getting the attention that I deserve.
Mm-hmm. And so you decided to wear.
I borrowed it from Larry. I
borrowed-
want you guys to pay attention to me again.
So you thought maybe throwing.
I don't understand why this guy is filming sex scenes with ladies and fat ladies, ugly ladies on the street. Everyone's paying attention to him. He's not even giving plays out. He's just being naked all over the place. And I'm here losing my plays. I lost my previous world hockey play, my handball play, every single play. I don't understand.
All right. Do you have a play for us?
Yes, of course.
Okay. All right, because Larry wasn't even bothering to give out plays.
Yes, I know.
Okay. All right.
Of course I know.
Okay.
I pay attention to everything you do, but you seem to hate me.
I don't.
Yes.
All right. What is the?
I don't know why.
I know that you're hurting. But why don't you give us a play and we'll boost this up.
World Hockey Championship, Austria versus Norway, first period draw.
First period tie.
Yes, at plus 140 at Bet365. See, you're making fun of me
No,
again.
I like your first period ties.
You dress with blue shirts and blue hats.
You're right.
You're.
No, you make very, very good points. Very, very good points. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little Beat the Bag rant quickly here. Join us in the Beat the Bag competition. There you go. There is the link to the contest. If you look at the last entries in the contest, you will see all of the goods there. You will see all of the card, the program, so you can make your picks. Free to enter, $250 to the winner. I'm just gonna hope that our guy Freddie just stays out here and chills.
I've been investigating the people in the chat.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. I don't have my complete list yet.
Okay.
But Canadian Capper 72. Be careful.
Jesus. I'm on the Blazers first half over 107.5.
Jose Gutierrez, be careful.
Oh, Jesus. Blazers Warriors first half over 107.5. I'm on the over in the hockey game tonight. Bruins Hurricanes over 5.5 at plus 110. Then in baseball, I only had 3 plays
There's
on
this
this.
person aspired to. He's making fun of me too on the chat.
I have the over 9 in Toronto, Chicago White Sox at minus 117, and the White Sox at plus 122. And I'm on the over 9.5 Twins Mariners, and people poke some holes in that. Game.
I'm going to poke holes in people.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be on King's Court in 17 minutes, but most importantly, Leche, hey, who's bookmakers?